This is what I've been looking for, a small free barbecue. We live in a consumer world. It's bad for the planet, but it's good for people like us. I can turn this into something useful. I can reimagine and repurpose it. And I've got an idea of what I want to do with it. It's lightweight. It has wheels and I can move it around. With a minimum amount of work, I can take this apart and I can turn it into something special. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove the hardware. So I can take the grids out. Everything's put together fairly simply. The burners and everything come out very easily. The igniter clips in. That's replaceable. The knob should just pop right off. It's got a couple of screws that I need to undo. So that's it. Now it's down to the shell. I just need to clean it up a bit. So now I'll take it over to my hose and I'll hose it down. I'm going to use my bullseye pressure washer and a wire barbecue brush. I found this barbecue sitting on the curb on trash day with a free sign attached to it. If you look around, it should be easy enough to find old barbecues. The best 2 times of the year to look for them are at the end of barbecue season, when people are getting rid of their old ones and they don't want to store them over winter, and at the beginning of barbecue season, when people want to get new ones. Okay, that got rid of all the spiders and anything nasty stuck to it. Now that it's cleaned up, it could be used exactly the way it is. If it was going to be used as a portable potting bench, so if I lift the lid up like that, I've got different pots that could be used. I've got the little benches on either side. In the centre, you could get a small dish pan that'll sit in there. This one will sit in there and you can close the lid. Small one like that can sit in there and you can also close the lid. For a larger one like this, you could either sit it in there, or since I saved the grills could be lifted up and they could be used as an extra table. So they could be sat back in there. A larger dish pan can sit on top. Add your potting soil here and you can use that to fill up your pots. That would be the end of my video, but I've got a couple of other ideas for this. I want to make some further improvements, and for that I'm going to use an old trash can lid. There are a number of holes in the top that might leak water, so there's one here, one there, and another 2 on this side. On the bottom, There's also a couple of large holes, and I'm going to patch those. So I'll cut down the trash can lid and make some patches to cover the holes. For this job I'm going to use an old trash can lid, but if you've got some extra tote lids lying around or any sort of plastic that's kind of heavy duty, you could use that. So I'm just going to cut this up into sizes that'll fit the holes that I want to cover. I'm using sheet metal cutters. It's a lot easier than scissors. I'm removing part of the rim. That just makes it easier to cut straight across. Now that's flexible. I've got a nice piece of black plastic here. This is UV stable, so it's going to last a long time. The sheet metal cutters, you can pick them up for $8 to $10. I get mine from Harbour Freight. So I'll just figure out what size I need to cover the holes. I've cut all my pieces down to size. Now with a trash can, you have a rough side and a smooth side. So I'm going to add the glue to the rough side. That will make it hold and grip better. For the smaller pieces, I'm going to use some E600 glue. For the larger pieces, I might use silicone to hold them in place. So I'll just apply some of the glue, press it in place, hold it for maybe a minute or so, just so it holds. And I'll go through and I'll do the small ones first. For the side piece here, I'm going to clamp that. It's going to need something to hold it in position until it sets up. I've added a C-clamp to that side so it won't slip. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Now this is an uneven surface, so the silicone's going to hold better. So I'm just going to put a generous amount of silicone around it. Then I'll set it on there. To hold it in place until it's set, I'm going to leave a brick on it. If I wanted to, I could do the whole thing in silicone, but I think the E600 glue will do the job. I can wait 24 hours for this to set up. It'll be completely cured within 72 hours, and then I can come back and I can paint it. I waited a couple of days for the glue to set. The plastic is now attached to the barbecue. It's waterproof. If I close the lid, all the rainwater will drip down and won't go inside. As it is, it's functional. I just want to make it look a little bit nicer. Ideally, if it was just straight metal, I would use spray paint. Because I want to go a little cheaper, I'm going to use latex. I already did a test piece along the back here. So I did a little strip, and that's holding up really well. This is cast aluminum, and the surface is rough. So I don't see any problem of using latex. I went to Home Depot and I got 2 cans of markdown paint. One's outdoor and one's indoor. Ideally I would use outdoor, but because The indoor's a little lighter. I'm thinking when I add the top coat to that, it's not going to change the colour that much. Outdoor paint has extra additives in it to protect it from the elements. But once I have the top coat on this, I think this will hold pretty well. So now I'll put on the first coat, which will be the primer, and I'll wait, and once it's dry, I'll come back and do the top coat. I finished painting the first coat yesterday. I let it dry overnight. I even painted the inside. The paint has stuck really well. It's even sticking well to the plastic. Had this been exterior paint, I would have left it the way it is and just given it a second coat. I bought 2 cans of paint for $2. They were markdown paint at Home Depot. The lighter one's the interior. The darker one, or the darker green colour, is exterior. I used half a can to paint this. So what I'm going to do is use the exterior paint, paint over the whole thing. That'll give a second coat. The latex paint stuck really well to the aluminum and reasonably well to the steel frame. If I put another coat over it, it will encapsulate it. For the second coat, I only used 1/4 of a can. So this is my portable $2 Toolbox / potting cart. It cost me $1.75 for the paint. I used half a can of the indoor paint and 1/4 of a can of the outdoor paint. I'm very happy with the way it turned out. I'm even happier with the price. I'm going to give this to my wife Robbie. She's going to use it in her garden behind me. It's a hassle to carry tools backwards and forwards, so she'll be able to keep the tools that she uses all the time in this. Alternatively, it could be used for potting, so the dish pan can sit inside. One of the grills I cut in half, so half the grill can sit above the dish pan. A pot can sit on top of it, and to fill it, you would just scoop it out, add what you need. Any excess will fall back into the container. By the way, I'm Gary, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you've got any ideas or comments, please feel free to leave comments in the comment section. If you'd like to subscribe to our channel, that's Robbie and Gary Gardening Easy, feel free to subscribe. If you want to set the notifications, YouTube will notify you when we upload a video. By subscribing to our channel, you'll be able to find us a lot more easily, and you never know what we're going to do. So I've got a lot of different projects I'm going to do. This is an example of one of them. So with that, thanks for watching, and don't forget to eat what you grow. Goodbye.